Good morning, good morning. My fault to everybody who just on live. Of course, they cut me out for playing it. I thought about that. A lot of times they don't, but depending on how new it is, they will. So for everybody who just tapped in with me, you know what I'm saying, I got to bear with me. I had to get rid of that one because that's why everybody went out, because it started blocking everybody out. But just picking up at where, should I say where I left off at? You know what I'm saying? Here we go. My fault, y'all. Somebody's calling me. But just picking up where we left off at, because I can't play the song. Of course, they're going to stop me. But to give my true rate of it, I think that when it comes down to the beat, I think that when Kendrick was picking his beat to the hood or to America today, I guess he kind of missed. But at the same time, when Kendrick started rapping, you know, if you got a love for music, he becomes a part of that missing instrument that really sells the verses to you. And another thing, I think that lyricists, sometimes we want you to focus on our words more than the beat. And I feel like he was focusing on a global production, because I can hear that being played in Africa and third world countries as a, you know what I mean, because of instrumentation. So I could tell he's going for global Kendrick, not what's going on in the world, right? And so I think the beat wise, I gave him a 6, but that's just from our understanding. But on a global perspective, I understand. His lyrically, I give Kendrick a 20. You know what I'm saying? I think Kendrick is one of the most amazing lyricists that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? Guaranteed top 5, but where you gonna put him? You know what I'm saying? He a little more bold than Cole. He stand up for a lot more than Cole do. You know what I'm saying? So in his peers, it really ain't nobody close to him. Drake is a good songwriter and shit, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick got bars, but he also feeds spirit if you listening. You know what I'm saying? He don't follow the trend. So lyrically, I gave Kendrick a 20 for the organicness, the originality, and the true pure talent. Raw. To still be that hungry and to not care about what they would tell. I'm pretty sure they told him that wasn't it. Or that's what they tried to convince him. When it comes down to video, I give him a 200. The video now, that's the thing about music that I'm trying to express to a lot of artists, rappers, and people in business in general. Regardless of how good the art is, a great song with a great video will sell millions or get you popular. A decent song with a great video do the same. An okay song with a great video will do the same. If the video will connect with the listener and make them understand what it is that the artist is trying to portray clearly, right? So I give Kendrick on the beats, you know what I'm saying? It was decent, you know what I'm saying? Globally good, lyrically amazing, visual amazing. And this led to the second part of the conversation saying that how many people in North Carolina or how many people know an artist like that? Or in New Jersey or in Texas or in Florida or anywhere that you live, or the people that watch me, there's people like Kendrick in the city that you live in, right? But a lot of times the people who are daring to push the cultures in the areas and the cities and the states that they live in, they're getting shut down, they're getting shunned like you're a weirdo, you're this and you're that, right? So that's why, for me, I've always been fighting this. But it always will make real artists to say, well, damn, I live right next to you. And I'm giving you shit that's on a similar accord on high level understanding and mental, right? But y'all look down on the artists around y'all. But when it come down to somebody, you know, all the way across the planet, y'all support it and stand by it and go all the way for it. But the question is it him? Or is it the fact of the matter that the people buy in because he already has made millions, right? Is it that the people buy in because they feel like that it worked for him? You know what I'm saying? But we got to also realize that Kendrick, we ain't heard from Kendrick in like 3, 4, 5 years. So it definitely was something going on in behind of him probably fighting, trying to get music out the way he wanted to with the culture had changed. So I just think that it's very important to realize that this is the best example I can give you of this is why you stay true to the art and to yourself and what you feel is right and what you feel in your heart is going to make you right. Because at the end of the day, we deal with this reality every day that when we wake up, we could be pushing the culture in the same way in our communities. But we'll watch somebody else drop similar shit and everybody will give them a praise while meanwhile being criticized, being scrutinized, being talked about, and being made to feel like what your art that you're giving isn't it. Because they say, well, you can't do that. That ain't it. But then we watch somebody across the globe, across the country, you know what I'm saying, be just as bold. And the only difference is they get the opportunity to express it. Because see, the average person today would say, this ain't going to work. Because look what the music sound like. I heard the DJ Academics conversation about this, and they were saying that they don't think that this is going to work because it's been too long and the kids ain't there. You know what I'm saying? I always say it live and publicly to people like, yo, we dictate the culture as the artists. The fans don't dictate culture. They dictate what's hot. but they can't dictate the culture. They can only dictate what's hot from what the art is being given to them. You know what I'm saying? The fans have the right to levitate to the best or what's the catchiest, but the fans doesn't make the art or the culture, right? So I just wanted for everybody who do their music or that has a different, unique sound like Kendrick, just remember that if I asked the question to a nigga on live one day, I said, yo, if Nipsey or Kendrick lived in your community, would y'all support him? And he was like, yo, honestly, probably not. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that we see them. It's easier to look at somebody you don't know and to see what they offer because you only see them what they offer than to what people that feel like they know you or feel like they know what you're capable of or feel like they know your ceiling because of the environment you in, or they feel like you know. So you got to remember. But you need to remember that just like them, where they live at, people doing the same shit to them. And it's not until they got famous and successful at what they was doing that it worked, right? And that's the only thing I'm really going to say about that. Basically saying that the only difference, and I say it again, the only difference is that they got the same treatment. But they kept fighting and pushing until they got to a place that they forced the people to fuck with them, meaning that they became successful and then they did it. And so now the same amount, it's no difference. The same people that live where they live at didn't believe in them. The same way they didn't think it could happen in a gang culture. If you think Kendrick and Nipsey, we see now that really a lot of motherfuckers don't respect it. Like they square niggas or they try to play them in squares because they had brains. But they got to a position where their passion and what they was doing, they forced the people, or the people started to respect it, and you got to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to go to the next part, because yesterday I was talking live, but I skipped. I'm intentionally on this animal shit because I've talked about it a lot, but I think it's important for me to show it. And so today the two animals we're going to do is the lion and the African wild dogs. All right? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Somebody at my door. What up, bro? Oh, how about Lala? Hold on, guys. Lala. Hold this. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold that right there. Lala, for real. Chill out. That's my line. That's how she act when somebody here. Lala! Boy. Lala! Shut the fuck up, man.
On African soil, territories are everything. No other animal knows the importance of owning one more than the lions. Occupy a territory, and you own the animals that trespass on it. Their lives at the lion's mercy. Defend the territory, and the pride can rest in peace.
Yeah, man, dog.
But let your guard down, and all could be lost in the blink of an eye. On African soil, a lion knows that his...
So just a reminder, everybody who tap in when we on the animal videos, I want y'all to hit 7, type 7 in the pad, because that means that we about to elevate. Now, the point of these videos is to us to watch these animals. Every day that I pick an animal to, for us to watch the animals and see how it relates to our family structure and what we getting wrong, to how it relates to us personally, from family to life to nature, knowledge and understanding.
His life depends on the territory he owns. It is the king's pride. For millennia, lions have carved their territories on Africa's vast and ancient ground. Through time, the pressures of the modern world shrunk these wild expanses to isolated wilderness areas. The last frontiers of true Africa. In South Africa, Kruger is the largest. And on Kruger's western flank, an old male lion owns a prime piece of land in an area called the Timbavati. His family is the Shibeli Pride, with 2 lionesses and 5 cubs.
So off bat, what's the first thing we notice? In his pride, there's 2 women and babies. See, what they're not telling you is that every pride differs. And in the last 5 to 10 years, they're learning that as the lions evolve, now there's groups of men that chill with each other and hunt together. You know what I'm saying? Because they're getting smarter, realizing that they could be powerful in numbers just as men, as males, should I say.
He leaves his pride most nights to patrol his 150 square kilometer territory. It takes dedication to make sure no enemy crosses the boundaries.
You see his beard? I want you to realize that the beard on the lion is a reflection of the beards that like the Muslims wear. We don't realize it. That's what we look like as men when we run around with the Sunnis on, and it's the same look. It's a look of power.
No enemy crosses the boundaries.
It's also on a scientific and historic level. Let me say this. The lions, what we call our beards, but that whole thing, when you see a holy figure like Jesus, they put that around him as well, but it's like the sun. It looked like it's the sun around the lion's head. So when they did pictures and paintings of Jesus or holy figures, they always would put like the sun or a mange around them as well. So just want to keep that in mind for like beards. Your beards and all of that is real.
But some nights, he gets distracted. Muffled sounds give away that a warthog is in its den. The old lion digs to make the hole bigger and tries to get within biting distance of the animal. Determined to get to the warthog, he digs into the night. But his old muscles are not what they used to.
Now let me ask y'all a question. If lions only live off reason, why does he keep looking at the camera? I want you to pay attention. He done looked at this camera 2-3 times like, I'm aware that y'all watching me. And this is just a camera sitting out in the woods somewhere. They're not out there. They got a drone or a camera posted up on a tree or something. But he's aware that he's being watched.
Used to be.
Let me go back.
After the old lion digs to make the hole bigger and tries to get within biting distance of the animal. Determined to get to the warthog, he digs into the night. But his old muscles are not what they used to be. After a few hours, he gives up. He leaves the morning shift to the pride. While one of the lionesses and the...
So, another misconception. We just seen that he was hunting at nighttime. So when they said that only the females hunt, it's not true. Right? But during the daytime and shit like that, he'll let them go out and hunt and let them run the field while the sun is up. But it's showing you that he will attempt to hunt.
Older cubs dig. The youngest one keeps herself busy. She's almost 6 months old and still supplements her diet with her mother's milk. For the rest of the pride, it's a waiting game. Listening for the slightest sound. Digging to enlarge the hole. Waiting. The youngest cub takes the best seat. Within minutes, the boar is torn apart. 7 lions fight for their share. The 2 lionesses bully the cubs and take the largest pieces. The little one tries to grab what she can, but her mother is not sharing.
Another thing, look at this. Look at the principle of this. I've seen documentaries where they only showed that the male lion, they said the females hunt. We seen the man was just hunting. But when he got too exhausted because he's older and he let them finish what he couldn't do in the morning. So they catch the shit, and I've seen where the female lions will take the food back to the pride and feed the cubs. And if the male lion's still hungry, he'll snatch food up out the cub's mouth, right? But we're seeing that in the female's nature, even in nature, is that the baby tried to get some food, she snatched it out of his mouth. She snatched it. If she don't want to give it to him, she won't. So I want you to understand that there is a lot more to this shit than what we're being told.
When it comes to feeding, there is no love between lions.
When it come down to eating, they don't give a fuck if you they husband, they man, they other wife, they children. There ain't no love. Only thing they give a fuck about is feeding themselves.
The young cub learns this quickly. The 40-kilogram warthog is too small to be a proper meal. Each lion grabs what it can get. In less than an hour, the kill is devoured. All that the youngest cub managed to grab is a bone.
See, because at the end of the day, see, they don't live in the matrix. They live in nature. I can't baby these babies. I can't baby these cubs and feed them. Like when they get, like, you know how we do as humans and wonder why our kids fucked up? I can't baby my cubs in nature, because if I'm too babyish, she gonna get killed and he gonna be somebody's lunch. At the same time, I need the strongest animals in my pride, not the weak ones. The weak ones gonna get killed or die off from bad choices and being weak. But in return, I'm gonna make you have to learn the aggression and fight for your food so that you know what you need to survive. In all animal kingdom, especially with mammals, we really the only people, the only species on Earth who look at our children the way we do, because we was taught that. Between, like, even my bullies, any of my dogs, the lions, and most of the animals I know, most of them, they don't give two shits about if these are their children. Only thing they care about is respect, order, authority, and the kingdom. You being their child doesn't mean anything to them. You're going to get your own food. You're going to work together. You're going to do what everybody else doing. You being a child of mine means nothing to me. And that's our mistake.
The old male is now 13 years old. He's held on to this great piece of timber body for almost 9 years. In lion terms, this is unheard of. A tenure usually lasts no more than 5 or 6 years.
So we basically looking at Mufasa.
He has been a strong leader for the Shabili pride. But times are changing. A few months ago, 3 lionesses
I'm about to pass it right now, bro.
and the pride. After roaming the expanses of Kruger, 3 brothers moved into the Timbavati and found an unattended piece of land south of Shabili territory. They have not crossed the invisible line into the old lion's turf. Not yet.
So bro up there with 2 women. Like I said, let's compare this to life. You up there, you got a little money, you done got your family together, you up, and this is your land. You got 150 miles. But you don't know that you got 2 women there, but it's 3 other men living right on the boundaries of your territory. And they ain't got no woman. So, you know what I mean? You got to think about this. Every day is competition for them. Every day.
Brothers are 4 years old. They are strong and confident. Every week, they kill a buffalo.
And another thing this shows is that, to see, before the lion finds his women and his pride, the men are together, right? Meaning that it's something that we have to understand. Before we even find a union with women or the female species on any front, we have to have a unity and an understanding amongst each other. Just like how we get mad at women for having an understanding of each other, but in some sense, they just doing what they supposed to do. See, these three brothers, they stayed together. They didn't split like how they taught us as kids that these males gonna go their separate way. They stayed together. They hunt, they practice, and they got a unity. And even after they marry, I guarantee you that their prides will still communicate and still fight together. I say marry, but y'all get what I'm saying.
Constant success in hunting attracts the attention of the three lionesses that left the old Shabili male. The bravest one tests the brothers. It's a very bold move. It's the brother's kill, and as an outsider, she has no right to it. Submission is key.
Do you hear this shit? This is why I do these combos. So for all of the women who think that I be lying, I want you to understand what he just said. So there's three brothers roaming around 150-mile territory, right? And they work together. But I knew the original king's pride was a little small. So the documentary, we gonna call him Mufasa, because he's been ruling for 10 years when the average ruled 5. So Mufasa was holding it down, but apparently it's 3 girls of his pride left, like he weak. You know what I'm saying? He can't hold it down. I'm good, I'm out. And the 2 girls that stayed probably the ones with the cubs. So they need protection. The other 3 left. So the 3 boys, they find and kill. Every week they kill a buffalo. So whatever they killed tonight, they killed. But the 3 girl lions, they out there too, right around them. But only one pops out, not the whole crew. Right? Then she goes and she violates the men by doing what we go through today. She goes and takes the food as if she's privileged to it. Like she goes to the food. Now she knows that that's violating to the structure of the males, because they're dominance. Now they will kill her if she does not submit. That's nature. And she could, listen, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, one-on-one, she probably ripped any one of the males apart. But she can't rip them all apart. You know what I'm saying? Because they do the hunting, but the males are very strong and very big. So submission isn't something that she's doing because she's scared. She's not submitting because she's weak. She's submitting out of respect and out of what she knows is hers and what isn't hers.
Others kill, and as an outsider, she has no right to it. Submission is key.
You see her submitting right here?
Getting in with these strong brothers will bring a prosperous time. Boldly she moves in, right under one of the brothers' nose.
And he let her. But she had to follow the rules. She couldn't say, if this female lion went over there and just tried to take it, it would have caused so much more turmoil. See, this go back to the family. As women and as men in our society, the women feel like they're entitled to it. They can go, they can take it without any form of submission, any form of respect. She went over there, and what she did gonna benefit her sisters too. So she went over there and submitted to him. He walked over and said, all right, respect. And then she went and ate right in front of him. And he let her.
By morning, 2 of the sisters are still feeding. And there is a third line with them, a young male, the oldest sister's son. His presence at the kill could jeopardize his mother and aunt's future relation with the...
That's what I think it is, you know?
Coalition of males. By being here, he is taking a dangerous chance. The brothers return.
Lila, shut up!
The young male moves away before they can attack him. The brothers claim their kill. The sisters' time at the carcass is over.
See, this go back to men and women. So one of the brothers went out and got some food. The girls watched him. He went and got the food. She came out there. She submitted and followed the rules. He let her in. And eventually, by the time morning came, the male cub and the 3 women. See, think about this as a human. I go out there, let's say out in nature, we ain't got no job. I go hunt and find some shit. We all starving, but I go find a big-ass buffalo. I knock it down. 3 women in the woods. One of them come out there, the most beautiful one come up and approach me, and she submit to me and let me know that she respect me, but she hungry. So I said, that's all right. You know, my brothers, they crazy. They ain't gonna have it, but you sexy, you beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So long as you show me respect, you and your sister can eat. You know what I'm saying? But y'all need to eat. So then they know, he know his brothers as men, they sleep, they lazy all night. They've been going hard all day. So what ends up happening is in the morning time when the brothers wake up and come to the kill, they see these girls and they brother, so they run him off and they run her off. Like, nah, y'all ain't a part of our pride, y'all ain't our women. Fuck out of here.
They now settle for some scattered bones, which they take a safe distance away from the brothers.
But see, they still women though. They didn't leave. They still there because they feel like, well, you know what I mean? That's natural. But they tolerate each other is the point of this shit. They not trying to attack her like they would. It could be any other animal. They be on their ass right now. It's like, I could compare this to like when you go to Hooters. They eating their meal and watching women.
One of the males keeps an eye on them. The young male hasn't moved far, but long term, if he stays, he will be killed because he is a male intruder on the brothers' land. He is a threat to their authority. They must chase him away.
So just like with your wife and your woman, other niggas is a threat to your authority. I hate to say it like this. We want to say that man is violent, toxic masculinity. Tell that shit to the animals. You think the animals is about to go? I wish if the female lions talk about some toxic masculinity, they running down on that shit. So understand at the end of the day, these are the principles that the Africans in Africa was watching the lions every day. Like, yo, they don't let nobody buy their women. All right, y'all stay away from my tent. Stay away from my village. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to understand this is where the family structure is coming from. When they look at all these mammals and they see similar things, they realize that they need to follow the same rules. Shit be crazy though, how it break down though, bro.
The brother stops the chase. This time, he is lucky to get away with just a bloody scratch.
Damn, they cut his shit open.
The young male knows his time here is coming to an end.
He could have finished him, but he didn't. And see, we got to realize
But
that
there, every hectare...
he never knows when he's in danger somewhere and he's going to run into that male lion again. See, it was the only reason why he attacked that other male wasn't off of ego and pride. That male lion just attacked that. The 2 brothers attacked that younger male because he's a threat to their territory and to their establishment. So when they chased him out of there, he did cut him in his face. But when he could have killed him, but he let him live. Because at the end of the day, it's only about, yo, respect my boundaries. It's not like I'm about to kill you for no reason.
There is owned by lions more powerful than he. Their territories are clearly defined, forming a giant puzzle where each piece slots into the other on level ground. But here, it's not that. There is a more obscure layer that belongs to another cat, a more elusive character, but by no means less impressive than the lions. His name is Makajan, which means Batman, Master of the Night. So vast is his territory that he spends a large part of his day patrolling it, meticulously leaving his scent on every point that, to him, represents a crucial landmark. The lions disregard his carefully laid, scented footprint, but they're not the...
Yo, the lion, okay, think about this in human form. This cheetah, right? He occupies a certain amount of land. And he's walking around his area, like, you know, if you got a house on acres, you walking around your fence every morning to let everybody know, like, yo, stay over there, bro. And while he's walking past this lion, it's like, you know how a person from the hood, he run the block, and he ain't scared of nothing. He just like, watch out the lion. He walking past the lion like, this is my territory. Look how the lion laugh at him, bro.
Crucial landmark. The lions disregard his carefully laid, scented footprint, but they're not the...
Like, you soft. You soft. If any food come in your territory, I'ma take it. Masculinity is a part of nature.
Animals he worries about right now. He's on the trail of a young female, Ntombi. She's been an estrus for several days. Ain't no animals anywhere. She's cut totally within Kitten's body. She didn't need protection, and let's alone, and...
Whoa. It just speed up for no reason?
For scent. Leaving his scent on every point that, to him, represents...
I guess it's the...
She didn't need protection, and let's alone, and for scent. But she does need his strong genes to father her cubs. She spots him first. He hasn't seen her yet, but he follows her trail. By instinct, she walks...
See, I want you to pay attention to the animals. You will never hear a story or see the males evolve around the women and the women evolve around the males. They understand it's not love they're occupying on. They're occupying off strength, intelligence, intellect. If another male is grown, he know how to survive. And if he's a big male, she wants the genetics for her offspring so that they can survive and that they can rule territories.
Away.
Just like how women used to in one time in history. It wasn't about love. It was about she wanted her children to have the best stock.
Encounters are never easy.
Yeah.
A hyena carefully follows their moves. Makajan is sure that Ntombi is an estrus, but she's not sure she wants to accept his favors. He doesn't know that. He can still smell her inviting scent. Makajan realizes that he's not going to win her over and leaves.
He still ain't getting no play, so he ain't winning. Dang.
The two leopards go their separate ways, back to the solitary lifestyle typical of a leopard. They leave behind their unique cat smell, and the hyena rolls in it to mask her own. If she smells of leopard, she might be able to get close enough to one to steal his kill.
That's just smart, yo. Yeah. Super smart. They go roll around in the pee of the leopard so they smell like them. And they'll be able to be elusive because they can't. Clearly, it's a scent thing more than it's a see thing. But it's crazy because when you look at the hyena, I think you need to realize that's like somebody mixed the lion and the cheetah together. They got the spots of the cheetah, but they favor the lion. And they're not man-made. They eat anything. I mean, they're not made by nature. They're man-made.
Ntombi is gone, but her scent lingers. He calls her, hoping that she hasn't gone far.
Yeah.
But his low rasping is drowned by some unruly sounds. Hyenas are ripping an impala kill apart. But this isn't their kill. They stole it from the old Chevelle lion.
See, it's always about in nature, it's different advantages. The lion that we call Mufasa, the king, he older, but it's just him and his tribe. The girls, they got babies, so if he out, it's just him. The hyenas might be 7, 4, 9 deep, so they could just, the numbers that they have, they could bully him out of it, and he'll just go about his business. You know what I mean? So just as strong as he is, he's also weak because it's just him. And when he got his pride with him, you know what I mean, he's stronger. But overall, when he's gonna go out and roam, it's just him. He's just that strong that he can still. They will surround him, but they ain't really gonna test him but so much because they know that he can still rip through a couple of them. Damn.
Irritated, he takes it back. His roar is a powerful weapon. It scares off scavengers like these and wards off enemies.
You know why? Because they don't know if he calling for backup. And just like that, if that was the two brothers, they would have had problems because now it's two brothers. This is why the men work together, because the hyenas and all these other animals, they had to learn that these other animals are 8, 9 deep. So these males being 3, 4 deep. 3, 4 lions equivalent to like 12 hyenas. As you see, he just ramshacked that whole shack of like 5 of them, and they knew not to play with him. Because they could win the fight, but at what cost?
But how long before the three brothers realize that the old male's roar goes unanswered? How long before they understand that the neighboring land is owned by only one male? They are young and new to this game of territories, and for now, they are happy with their newfound kingdom. The complexity of the lion's territories is lost to the larger animals of Africa. To giraffes, it makes no difference whose turf they're on. Lions are dangerous anywhere. When they find them, they keep them in their sight. For the elephants, that's not good enough. Lions kill their newborns, so the further they make them run, the better. Elephants have seen generations of lions come and go. They've walked through the invisible boundaries that change with the strength of the reigning king.
And remember, the other morning we learned that all the lies they told us. They told us the elephant has the brain of a peanut, but the documentary scene said the elephant had one of the largest brains on the planet. I mean, duh. And then it also said that the brain power could only be compared to a dolphin and a primate, which is us and apes and shit. And we share 98.9% of the same genetics with monkeys. Right? And a dolphin is super intelligent. And it said that it was smarter. So it just said that elephants live so long, they see hundreds of thousands of these motherfuckers come walking around them every day. But the elephants ain't running. They got a little prance and step to, but at the end of the day, they only can get their kids. The only time you vulnerable as an elephant is when you a baby. Or if it's like a drought and like 9 lions is really hungry. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get one of them. You feel me? Because they know that one elephant gonna feed them, the hyenas, the wild dogs, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
All this is unimportant to them. Their survival depends on the best food and water that they can find over an expanse of land that stretches far beyond these lions' territories. They're on the three brothers' land now, only because it has the best source of water around. And nearby, there is an enormous expanse of bushland to feed. The old Shebele male takes some time out with his pride. At his age, he tires quickly. His joints are stiff and riddled with arthritis. He doesn't hunt with a pride anymore. For the 2 young lionesses and the 5 cubs, this is a problem. They depended on the experience and strength of the old male and his 3 lionesses. Now, the females are gone and the old male is tired. The Shabeles are in trouble. The two remaining lionesses used to take the older one's lead. Now they find themselves alone, having to provide for a handful of almost fully grown cubs with matching adult appetites. At every opportunity, they try to go for buffaloes. Just two lionesses against a whole herd. The odds are against them. Inevitably, the lionesses lose. Despite being almost 2 years old, the cubs are of no use. They just don't know how to hunt because they missed out on some crucial guidance, usually given by the adults in the pride.
Boom. So if the pride is off balance, the family, then the cubs are going to suffer. Even though these cubs is 2 years old and big enough to be hunting with their mom, the fact that the two other females knew that the alpha male was old and they left, the other women in the male lion are supposed to be teaching them cubs. So by now they should know how to do this. But if the structure's off, so is the teaching in the animals. Just like if the father not there or the father can't do his job and the father leave the home or mom ain't there, the kid's going to suffer. And they're not going to mature and learn what they're supposed to learn.
Special skills to hunt buffaloes. Skills that the three brothers perfected during their nomadic years in Kruger. The sisters are desperate to be accepted by these males. They try all the tricks they know. Flirting seems to work. But the male is not sure what to make of this. Encouraged by her sister's progress, a second lioness moves closer. And her young son follows her. He shadows her in the hope of getting her protection while trying to get close to the carcass. The sisters' arrival has unsettled the brothers. They are unsure of what to do, fight them or accept them. The female scent is distracting. Quietly, one of the lionesses starts to feed. Her sister tries to move in too, but she's too fast for the lion's liking. Meanwhile, the one feeding eats as quickly as she can, and the male makes sure that the lionesses see who owns this kill.
He don't look like he missed no meal.
Having learned from her mistakes, the mother moves closer, slowly.
Moving too fast, y'all. You gotta approach with grace.
Yeah. See, you can't just run up in here like, you gonna run and take this shit?
Right.
Nah, move in slow, baby girl.
Move slow, baby.
Her son follows.
Oh, this might be a problem though.
Yeah.
But he is getting too close. The brothers have had enough and take out their frustration on each other.
he like, yo, here you go again, letting these women come and take our shit.
Undeterred, the lioness carries on feeding. But soon her time is up.